Many of the pensioners they interviewed had lots of stories of the 1930s they also wanted to tell.
And out of that grew the idea to do a show focusing on pensioners' memories of the 1930s, which would initially be played to pensioner groups, but did have a potential for playing to younger audiences as well, who were not so familiar with the material. And I was very lucky. I managed to get a grant for the company from the Greater London Council, and various other people have helped, like Help the Aged and the local adult institutes and the Greenwich Arts Council, have all helped to make it possible for me to employ actors, professional actors, on a full-time basis to develop material.
But first they had to gather it, and for this stage of the process, the pensioners were very much the stars. For the performers, it was a listening brief. And when Pam jogged old memories with slides of the period, the stories just flowed out.
We was out of work and we was on the, what we used to call a bun house.
Why did you call it the bun house?
Well, I don't know, we used to call it the bun house, the RO.
The RO?
Yeah.
That's the relieving office, isn't
Yeah,
it?
down
Yes.
Mary Ann's buildings, that was.
Yes.
Yeah, used to give us £2 a week for the kid
Yeah.
and £8 a week to keep me.
And did it keep you, or wasn't it enough?
Well, we just existed on it, mate, but we got over it, didn't we?
Yes,
I'm still
obviously.
alive.
Yes.
1931 to 1935, I was out of work.
What you used to do?
And I think it was very tough, because on the first 6 months of on the Labour Exchange, I got 40 shillings a week, and that for 6 months. And after that, 3 months of 8 shillings. And after that, 3 months of 4 shillings. And after 2 years, I've got nothing at all.
Everybody mostly had 1 or 2 rooms, but then as you save up, but you didn't have a lot of money to save up, so therefore you just had the bare necessaries, as Charlie said, table, 4 chairs and a bed. Well, then you used to have the tallyman.
Oh, yes, everybody in those days, if they wanted anything, they went to a shop and they selected what goods they wanted. It could be furniture, clothing or anything. Well, then the price was agreed and he called on you every week for the money. But if you failed to pay, you'd had it. He come and took it away again.
And you never went to your parents for help. I didn't. I wouldn't let my mother know that I was scrambling through on a few shillings a week.
We had to pawn our engagement room to afford this room, didn't we, Rose?
Did you get it back? No. You never got it back?
Never got it
Never
back.
got it back.
I couldn't have been seen going into a pawn shop and coming out. No. I would have felt too ashamed.
I never had anything to pawn.
Also, a lot of the work is quite hard slog. The actors have all had to be prepared, and I made it quite clear to them that they would have to do this, to transcribe acres of tape, reams and reams of pages of tape, out of which we've produced the book and will go on to produce the show. Now, a lot of actors just don't want to do that. I've tried very hard to find people who are genuinely interested in this as an area of work, interested in the business of locating and recording material, and interested in relating directly with their audiences. And they've got to like working with older people.
Some of them we've become very close to. And we found it difficult, I think, at first when we were gathering information, because we were going with a particular goal for the show and for the booklet. And you have to get involved with a lot of problems that pensioners are facing at the time. And that was very difficult because we knew that, say, we'd allot ourselves a couple of hours to go and talk. And then you get the situation where you go along to do an interview and the pensioners got a lot of domestic problems, a lot of problems that are happening for them now, 1983. And making that choice by saying, well, it's fine, but anyway, about the 30s.
Would you like to have a sniff of that?
Now, don't let me tell you what monkey brains are.
We have to make sure that everything that we do works as a social event. We have to make sure that the people who are telling us their stories and helping us with our plays enjoy what they're doing.
When we come next time, I hope we'll have little extracts of what we've said together that we can show you to give you an idea of how we're going to work on the material. And thanks very, very much indeed, all of you, for coming. Stay and have a sing-song.
It's
and
been
then
a
go.
pleasure.
About a month later, the tape recordings had all been transcribed, the mass of material edited, and the manuscript for the book delivered to the printer. Now it was time for the play. By this time, some of the stories were ready to be improvised by the players and criticised by the pensioners. So it was back to the source.
What we're going to do today is take our improvisations and our preparation of the play a little bit further, and we're going to use again stories from the book.
Hello, my name is Maeve Chandler. I work in a West End tailor's. There are 4 men working on the machines on one side and 4 girls on the machines on the other side. We make 3 or 4 coats a day, but they have to be to perfection. I start work at 8 o'clock sharp. I daren't be late. When the door of the boss's office opens, everyone's head goes down. You daren't look round because he'll have you. He'll have you for wasting his time.
How many have you done over there?
Well, we're on the 3rd one. We're a bit
3.
behind. He'll go mad.
He won't be pleased, that's for sure.
My mum's going to come in and sort him out, she said.
Are you still talking? Now, what is this? I don't pay you to talk, I pay you to make coats for me. Is this coat finished?
No.
Because look, there's a stitch here which hasn't been done properly.
But Mr. Johnson, the tailor hasn't finished it yet.
And why hasn't he? It's because he's been talking, isn't it?
Now, Mr. Johnson, the tailor never talks.
You do. You're always talking, you. I'm getting more and more dissatisfied with your work. You've only done 3 this morning when you should be on 5.
Oh, you, Gascon.
And who are you?
I'd like to talk to you a moment.
Look, this is my factory and I'm a busy man. Now, what do you want?
I want to talk to you about the work here.
Oh, yeah?
About my daughter working here.
Yeah?
She's scared to death of you. She can't sleep at night for worrying about working for you, and I've had enough of it.
Now, you just listen to me. What's this about her working Sundays?
I want her to work Sundays to make up for all the gabbing that she's been doing when she's been working there.
It's not true.
I'll deal with him.
It's quite exciting in a way to do an improvisation and then say, OK, what was wrong with it? And then they give you more information and you work on it, and the whole process is really enlightening, and I think that's all part of the process.
First of all, I'd just like to ask, that was based on Jean's story, I think.
Really?
How did that seem to you, Jean? Was that...
Well, he was an angel at the side of Gasson.
Really? so if I was going to play
He
that...
wouldn't be anything like you.
What, he was worse, was he?
He was a Russian Jew, and he used to go mad. He would. He'd go mad. He'd tear his hair out, and he'd get a coat and rip it. But what were you arguing about? He used to make me work Sunday morning. You'd get in the lift, and once you got upstairs, he used to lock everything up because the factory workers inspecting. But you came in because if you didn't come in on Sunday, then you had to work yourself to death for a whole week.
You said to me that your mum came up and sorted. How did she manage to sort him out if he was such a terror?
She got in the lift.
Yeah.
And she met this fella in the lift, and she thought, right, he looked like a typical Russian Jew. And she said, you Gasson, but she didn't give him a chance to answer. And she said, you're making my daughter ill, it's got to stop. I'm going to the factory inspector and everything. And she went mad. And she got to the picture where she could tear him up. Because I couldn't hold a phone. If I wanted a phone, it used to go like that.
Shake.
I got in such a state.
So...
But she gave him such a doing over. But it was the wrong man. It was a man named Wolfie. And, and he was the brother-in-law. And really and truly, Wolfie was an angel, but terrified of Gasson.
To ensure authenticity, the pensioners were encouraged to join in the improvisations
Great.
and offered a chance to act out their own memories. Here, a family man out of work in the 30s has his pride sorely tested when his wife calls in the relieving officer.
Been down the RO.
Have you? Who the bloody hell told you to go there?
I took it on my own bet.
Oh.
I'm very sorry.
Oh.
You're not fitting no mat. Put that down, mate. I can't do no more.
Go on. Carry on.
I'm too full up for words.
Well, I'm not. I told you to keep away from that bloody place.
Are you fetching in any money?
I'm fetching nothing in. I'm fetching what I possibly can.
Right.
But I'm not going to the bloody RO. I told you that. I'm not begging to no one.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Enough said.
Right.
Right, we'll stop. Oh, that must do.
Good afternoon, Madam. Potter with 1 tea. I'm the relieving officer. I believe you applied for relief.
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, I've come to assess your position.
Will you come in?
Times are hard, aren't they?
We know they're hard.
Yeah.
But we'll find a way out
Take
somewhere
a
or the
seat,
other.
please. Take it anywhere you like.
Oh, is this the check you've been on for, up to?
Yes.
Oh. Now, what is it? What are you...
Shall I go
I
make
believe
a
you have
cup of
applied
tea?
for relief.
Oh, yeah.
So how many are you living in this house at present? You and your husband?
Yes.
4 children.
4 children?
Yes.
And what are their ages?
Well.
One's 17, one's 12, one is 6 and the other one is 2-year-old.
And you are at present unemployed?
Quite correct.
How long have you been unemployed for?
That's 9 months now.
9 months. And are you still looking for work?
I'm out in the morning at 6 o'clock till 10 till afternoon time, trying to find something to fetch a few bob home somewhere or the other.
And what is
which
your
I've been
profession?
unsuccessful so far.
And what about you, madam?
Well, I've got my kids to look after, haven't I? I can't go out to work.
She's got enough on her plate to do.
I ain't had nothing on my plate for weeks.
You've got enough to do without that, without wanting these people.
I'm talking about something to eat.
I know you are. I could do with something to eat and all, but...
Cup of tea, Mrs. Brown.
Oh, thanks.
And what about the 17-year-old?
Mrs. Brown, just a cup of tea.
Well, he's out of work and all.
Hello, ma'am. Dad?
Oh, hello, boy. Where you been?
New shoes. What's it got to do with you? It has a lot to do with me, young man.
Willie, that's enough. That's enough.
That's brilliant. Well, it's just, it's very humbling, really, I think, as performers. I think particularly the first time when a couple of the pensioners decided to get up, and we'd done a scene. Well, I know that how I felt. I mean, I've done a variety of scenes for quite a few years, and it was the situation of somebody getting up that was actually the person that I was attempting to portray, but she knew it. She'd done it all, and she was so much better than me because she'd already experienced it.
Oh. Yeah, well, you're asking too many questions here, mate.
That's enough.
I'd like to know, what do you think you can do for us?
I'm still not convinced that there is any money coming into this house.
Well, look here, chum. We're not bloody liars. Oh, we're telling you the truth. We've got nothing coming in. No, I can tell you, you can take my life on that.
About that cupboard full of crockery over there. Surely you don't need all that crockery.
All right.
We worked hard to
Come
get
in.
that.
Come in. See that door?
Yes?
Well, get out before I kick you out.
Suits me fine, if you don't want my relief.
Get out.
Well done, Dad. That's the way to treat them.
I'm thrilled. I am really. But as I say, I'll do anything. I will. If anybody asks me to do a thing, I'll do it.
Did you really believe the role you were playing there, the part you're playing?
Oh, yes. But if I had a different husband from him...
And in 2 weeks' time, we'll be showing you an excerpt from the actual production of the play, being performed as part of the Greenwich Arts Festival. And if you're interested in the book I mentioned...
Depression.